I'm going to rank every single Minecraft mob. There is a lot of mobs in Minecraft, so we're just going to be ranking the more important ones. And at the end of the video, there should be a complete tier list. We're going to be ranking based on what the mob looks like and the abilities it has. And hopefully, this doesn't get too controversial. So tell me what you think about this tier list in the comments. Let's start nice and simple. The Creeper. Easy to recognize, really annoying, sneaks up on you. It drops gunpowder and explodes. This mob is actually my worst nightmare in Minecraft Hardcore. So with that, I'm giving it a light B. Next up is the Skeleton. This one sucks. Honestly, put it in the worst tier already, and I'll explain why. This thing has aimbot. The Skeleton has aimbot, okay? You will be running, and this guy will just keep hitting you for no reason. You will be 50 feet away from you, and this guy just attacks. And it just sucks. Next up, the Zombie. Pretty okay. Not really that great. Kind of slow mob. It drops rotten flesh that poisons you. Just kind of annoying to deal with. I'm gonna give this a D. Now on to the Spider. This one is annoying. It crawls all over the place. Sounds like a lot of fun to me. Do you hear me grinning? Yeah. But it can give you string to make a fishing rod or a bow, but I don't like it, so it's gonna be an E. Above the Skeleton though. On to the Enderman. I like him. I think he's cool. Definitely one of the coolest mobs because he can teleport and he gives ender pearls. I think he's pretty sweet, so I'm gonna give him an A. So I want to pivot towards the animals now. We're gonna start off with the cow. The cow drops raw beef, which can be turned into steak. To me, this is one of the best food sources out of the bunch, and it's probably one of the best food sources in the game. So with that, I'm giving it an S, maybe an A. I don't know, maybe S is too much. Probably an A. That's probably a good idea. Next up is the pig, and it's pretty okay. Kind of under the cow for food source. It drops raw pork chop that turns into cooked pork chop. Wow, that was hard to say. It's not as good as steak, but it's alright. I'm gonna give this a light B. Wow, on to something useful, the sheep. It gives beds. It's great. And lamb chops. Wow, what a mob. Let's hand it to him. And with that, I'm gonna give it a high A. Under cow though. The chicken. It gives chicken. Who would have thought? Nothing really much to say. It also drops feathers. Kinda boring. I'll give it a C. The squid, F. Now let's move to the pets of Minecraft, starting with the cat. Definitely one of my favorite pets in the game. You know why? Because of Bobby.
He's really nice and he's really cool.
Bobby is great. He's done some unspeakable actions.
He's freaking twerking, guys. He's twerking.
But he's a great cat. And we commit war crimes together. S tier. So next is the wolf or the dog. You can tame it with a bone, but unlike the cat, there's not as much customization because the cats have more than one way it could look, unlike the dog. So I'm probably gonna give the dog or wolf a B tier. On the more newer side, the parrot. Very, very annoying. Although you can get 5 different parrot colors that are based on real life. But I think since this mob is so annoying, I'm gonna have to give it a low B. Next up, the horse, and it's okay. It's not bad. Once you get an elytra, you basically forget about your horse. So for that, I'm gonna give it an A, but it's gonna be a low A. Now on to the villagers. These people are amazing. I totally do not scam them all the time. You know, you tend to keep these people, what's the word? Locked? No, in a nice shelter for the rest of their lives. And because of that, they like it so much that they give you good deals. And without seeing the light of day ever again. But you can't get rid of them, and they're always willing to reproduce. So for that, I'm giving them a B. Next up, the iron golem. And they're great. They're okay. Unless you hit them once, and then you instantly die. That's great. But the iron golem is always there, willing to protect you at all costs. So for that, I'm gonna give him a B. Okay, so now we're on to the more nether side of the game. I'm gonna just quick fire around a few mobs, and we're just gonna rank them off. Starting with the ghast, C. Magma cube, F. Sucks. Blaze is cool, B. Silverfish, F. Witch, C. Piglin, C. And wither skeleton, C. Now let's get into the more controversial mobs. The mobs that were voted by the Minecraft community in the mob votes, starting with the glow squid. Now, this mob isn't just useless, it just sucks. The glow squid drops ink that makes your text on signs glow. That's That's it. It is probably the most useless in the game, respectfully. And respectfully, catch this, F tier. Next up is the Phantom. Y'all know I hate this one. This is also an F tier. This mob tries to kill you every 3 days if you don't sleep. And this one is definitely one of the most annoying mobs in Minecraft. So for that, it's also an F. Next up, the Sniffer. I think I'm putting it at C because it says something about sniffing out artifacts. Kinda sus, but it's gonna be a C for me. Now, the newest mob vote addition, the Armadillo. Now, the Armadillo gives armor for dogs. And I think we all know that once we get a dog, we leave it at our houses and never take it for a walk ever again. So I think right now, I'm gonna put it in B. Now, on to the main course, the bosses of Minecraft. The Wither. The Wither is probably the scariest mob in Minecraft. It has 3 heads and it shoots them at you. If you are able to kill it, you get a nether star, which you can make a beacon out of it. I really like this mob, so I'm gonna give it an S. Now on to the Warden. Now this mob isn't as good as the other ones. It drops 1 block that is so useless, you can get it regularly. That being said, the Warden is probably the strongest mob in Minecraft. If it gave some sort of diamond gear or some sort of OP loot, I would rate it a lot higher. But since it doesn't, and you could just completely skip the mob in a playthrough, I'm gonna give this mob an E. But wow, because the Warden has so much potential. Now on to the final mob that you need to defeat to complete the game, and that is the Ender Dragon. There are a lot of games, but nothing is as nostalgic as going for the final boss with all your friends in Minecraft, or just looting in general, having one goal to defeat the Ender Dragon. And wow, honestly, defeating the Ender Dragon for the first time is so exhilarating, and you never know what's going to happen. So I'm gonna give it an F. S. You actually fell for that. Wow. That is the full tier list. And like I said earlier, tell me what you think about this tier list in the comments below. And I'll see you brothers next time.